If you enjoy learning the Cherokee language with RSU TV, join our Signal Society. Your monthly gift of $10 a month ensures that RSU TV can continue to produce programs like the Cherokee language classes. Click the link in the description or call 1-800-823-7210 to join today.
Osionikot, Wade Blevins, Tawadong, Jalagigantino, Unole, Tawado Galiele, Jijedo Kohig.
Esqugalele, Jajile, Kathy Sear, Dauto Yoneka, Kellet Dauto Jalekika.
All right, so welcome to Cherokee 2 here at RSU TV and Cherokee Nation. And we are happy to announce Kohig Nugsko Chaneline, Jalagia de lo Quasti. Our 48th Cherokee lesson. So, Ulsquat, only de lo cost. We're finished. Yeah, it's our last one. So hopefully you've enjoyed the class. Hopefully you've gotten a lot out of it.
Yep.
And we will get to a place, hopefully in our story today, where it at least has some resolution. Although the story, I will tell you, continues to go on. For actually, there's several more things happen in the story, but maybe that will be something for another class, or maybe you could look it up yourself and try to translate. That would be cool.
Yeah.
And show us how you've done it. So come, idalena jalagi idiwone. Okay. So today, our reading, let's go through, and this is Johnny Uwo Huelana Uwo Huelanahi Sadu Sine Aya Totla Gal Gine Udalka. And notice there are two nays in here, but we're going to leave them.
We're not messing with it.
Yeah, we're not messing with it. We're just going to leave it. But maybe we at some point we can get that fixed. But for now, just realize it's a typo. It's two nays, and it should only be one nay. So Johnny, you at home, can you tell me Johnny uwohuelanahi? What that means? That's the writings of John.
Right.
Yes? Sat du sine, 11th, ayatotla, chapter, galko gine udalka, the 7th verse. All right, so let's see. Oh, good. It's a short one. So let's read our way through it, and then we'll translate it, and we'll see how close we got. Okay. So it says, "On ni no hi a ni du we se lagi go was ta wa di don hi." Oh, okay. Go was ta wa di don hi. Ta li ne ju di yi we di lo hi. We di lo hi. All right. So, would you read this one for us?
Oni no hi a ni du we se lai go wo sta wa di don hi. Tot line ju di we di lo hi.
Okay. So, only no, then at last, or then the last, or at the end.
At the end.
Then at the end, he this ni du we se lagi. He told them, go wastawadi donhi, the disciples, right?
Followers.
Tatline, second, Judea, we delohi, we'll go
that way.
We'll go that direction. So we'll come again to Judea. Is that
I'm thinking that's what it means. That it's hard to say when it's just that verse.
Yeah,
you know,
just
the
not what's in
story,
front
yeah.
and what's after.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah, let's go to. Okay, so then after that, saith he to his disciples, "Let us go into Judea, again." Okay. So Tatline Judea we delohi.
We delohi
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go that way.
again.
So on ni no hi a ni du we se lagi ga was ta we di don hi ta line Judea we delohi. All right. So that is our last reading exercise for the course. So again, it was fairly short. And I probably, had I been thinking properly, I should have chosen something from the Revelation. So of course, since it's our last one, right? So, but I wasn't thinking that far ahead. So,
Yeah.
so we'll go with this, and this is our reading for today. Okay. So last time we talked about cutting something. Today we're going to talk about putting something together. So, tigaji lesta means to glue it together. Tigaji lesta. Would you say that for me?
Tikajilasta.
Okay.
I'm not familiar. I'm
Oh,
not familiar with that word.
really?
Yeah.
And I can't even remember where I learned it from.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't get it out of the immersion curriculum?
No, I do think I remember. I think I learned this word from Melvina and Joanne Spade.
Okay.
Whenever I was teaching Head Start, a language class for Head Start, I wanted to know how to, draw it, write it, glue it, color it, cut it out, all those things. And so we had worked on all these, and this is what Tikaji Lasta.
Okay. Well, it had to be translated by not, a teacher or,
Right, yeah.
because glue it was not in the vocabulary.
Right, yeah, that's
So,
not something we had
yeah.
access to until.
Yeah. So
yeah.
it's a new word. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a newly translated word.
I wonder how it translates.
Yeah,
to,
that's what I.
I'm really curious. So let's just real quickly. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna check something out. So, whoops, might help if I took it off of Cherokee. Okay, let's see. Oh, Dikana Wodi, Diga Jala Stote. Okay, so it's related to this word here, this Diga Jala Stote.
Okay, because digaja, that reminds me of something sticky.
Ah, yes, yes, yeah. So, Jila Sta. So it's like
Put the sticky together.
Sticky, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
So see, that's the cool thing about our language. Even when you're exposed to a new word, it still kind of makes sense.
There's a root word
Yeah.
in there somewhere that you
Yeah.
once you hear those other words, then you know where they got it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Tikajila Sta. Glue it together.
Okay.
So that goes back to the word dikajalust. Oh yeah, sticky. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
It just clicks in your head.
Yeah.
Don't know how, but it does.
Yeah.
Can't explain it all.
Okay. Now, so we're going to back up, we're going to review our story, and then we're going to put some kind of ending on it for our purposes. Sahiyatid uweji ageya aktinotla kanasula ugawiyu uweji. So towards dusk or towards evening, right? She brought her daughter to the princess' room, right? Ugawiyu uwej unuki tlane. The prince hugged her. Unuki tlane. In igada askaya dula westane dula westane. Dula westane. Ijula ale galjohit askaya galohis wuwotla. Tla gohust eli yuyantle. We do know tle. Okay, so then it says the tall man wound around them both, and the fat man sat at the door. Nothing could enter. They sat there. Would you read this for us?
Sahiyeti la uweji age utinole kanasula.
See, I do the same thing.
Kanasula ugawiyu uweji. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yep.
Ugawiyu uwej unu gislane. Ina igat askaya dula wistane ijula ale galjohite askaya galohisti wuwola tlagahust eli you yerle we do nola.
All right. The next one says Tla you won't ni se ageya nada sonoye ugali se ukata ugawiyu uwej wagaga tostane uwej ageya uli heli jona Tla yiduk tas tane Tla or si wagak toast uwej ageya. Would you read that one for us?
Tla yuwa ni se ageya na dasa noe ugali se ukata ugawi uwej wagagatos tane uweji age uli heli jona tla ye du tas tane si wagagatos te uweji ageya.
Okay, good. And that says the woman didn't speak. The moon shone on her face. The prince stared at her, at the daughter. She was happy, or he was happy, and he didn't close his eyes, right? Or he didn't blink. He didn't blink. He continued looking at the daughter. All right. So, uni yeta gesa sa du atli lisa du done no skili negada yawi uni ya gal jode stayosa uni klane no le wajinawida he uwej ageya stayosa negad ani kline ski gatu udalula toddle. So stayed awake until about 11. Then the witch conjured everyone that was in the house. She put all of them into hard sleep. And then she took her daughter away. Everyone slept until 15 minutes until 12, right? Would you read that one for us?
Unia Jagesa Satu Atli Lisa. Du doneno at skilin gata yawi unia galchota. Stayosa unilane nola judge watching nawi da he uwe jagay. Stayosa negat anilene skigatu udalula taldu.
Perfect. Okay, galona stoti udipse no le negata duniye je uwe tlune uganwiyu uwech tajiyo huse negata anisteliski unidlo hile aseno Digali squaten askaya duwo sele etlawe negod octodosti awadule tohin nu danele uta dostaneno udaneno zoet sku iutli lord nayon uwotla adlo hiha. Okay, so then it says the magic dissipated, or the magic went away or healed, and then everyone woke up. The prince cried out, "I'm going to die." All of his helpers started crying, but the big-eared man told him, "Everyone be quiet. I want to listen." They all quieted down, and he listened. And then he said, she's sitting on a rock 300 miles away crying. All right, would you read that one for us?
Galona stoti. We unat udipse nola negat dunieje. Welune ugawayu uweje. The Gio who see negata anal stelis unat lohila. Aseno digal squaten askaya duwe sele. Etlawe negat actadasti awadule. Toi nunda nele utadastan neno udaneno. Jo itsku iutli lord nayo uwosla atlo hiha.
Okay. Then in igada askaya uwasa eli yastela talehaga tal yijalagana yiwi luki. You tal, yeah. Oh, this was you lost.
Toste or
You lost. We had changed it. You
lost done. You will lucky.
Yeah. You will lucky. Hawa udane in ikat askaya aseno na at utlinigit go agotisk uwenastisku yayo stona na ya jukila in igada askaya Ulisesa na utlinigit. Oh yeah, Ulisesa gasohi. Na utlinigit agotiska tatli Alaska dano na yon agehia ju kitla wuni lute na wo ajiga du tlesa no le wuga wuk tostana na ya. Okay, so the tall man can only the tall man by himself can help. Get up, and in 2 steps you'll be there, right? Okay, said the tall man, but the strong-sighted one has to go as well. Oh, he can break the rock where she's sitting. The tall man, he says, no, the guy with the strong sight climbed up on the back of the tall man.
Yes.
In 2 steps, he was at the rock where the woman was sitting, that the woman was sitting on. Took the covering off his eyes and stared at the rock. All right, would you read this one for us? This one's harder.
Ina ikat askaya uwasa eli ya stela. Talehaga tatli yitala se tan yuhit luki. Hawa udane in ikat askaya. Aseno na ulanikit agotisk uwena stiskul. Ya yostona na ya jukela. Ina ikat askaya lasesa gasohi na ulanikit agotiska. Tatli alaska dano na yo agetu kitla yuhit Wunilute. Anawo ajiga tulese nole wuktostane nöja.
Okay. Kilauya uyo jone nöja in igat askaya unawi da he agehya ugawiyu uweji usasti kana sulatil no le ulutse utloyi ajinawo dehe ajinawo dehe ajinawo dehe. There it is. Askaya utlenige agotiska. Nikata nulstana sonoyi udalula. Atskili ulute. Doyu uliheli tona. Si uwej agehya. Nyon juwotla. Joitsku iutli lord eliska. Okay, so that was immediately the rock broke. The tall man then carried the woman to the prince's bedroom, and then he went back and did the same he carried the man with the strong eyesight the same way. Everyone, all of this happened before midnight. The witch returned. When the witch returned, she was really happy. She still thought that her daughter was sitting on that rock 300 miles away, right?
Yep.
All right, would you read this one for us?
Kiloya uyocho nena ya. Inigat askaya. Unawi da hage. Ugo you wedge. Canuck. Usasti kanasula dila. Nola uluja utloi a jinawi dahe askai utlanigit a go tiska. Nigada nuls tane sanoi udalula. Adskili uluja doyu uli heli tona. Si uweji age na yonti wotla jo itsko uli lord eliska.
Oh, here we are.
Okay.
All right, new information. Asehno, atskili, du stuis, galohist, du gohe, nikod anina, ani woniska, ale unali heli jona gesa. Okay, so asehno, but atskili, the witch, du stuis, galohist, when the witch opened the door, Justu is galohist opened the door, du gohe, she saw them, nikod anina, everyone in there, right? They were all in it.
And they're sitting.
Yeah, they were all sitting in there. Aniwonisk, talking. Ale, and unali hele chona, they were all happy.
Yeah.
Okay. So would you read this one for us?
Aseno atskil justu iskalohisti du gohen god anina aniwoniska ale unali helijona gesa.
Okay. Could you also, this is just a question, change all these us to s? So could you say du gohen god anine aniwoniske ale unali helijona gesa?
Yeah,
Gesa.
you can. It just depends on your dialect.
Yeah.
But you can.
Okay. And still means the same thing, still understandable.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So let's see how close we got. But when the witch opened the door, she saw everyone sitting there, talking and happy. Yeah. Okay. This says, Ugawiyu uwej unugitle ageya uweji. The Ugawiyu, oh yeah, unugitle. Okay. The prince was hugging
Her daughter.
daughter. Yeah, her daughter. Would you read this one?
Ugawiyu uweji unukile ageya uweji.
Okay. Prince was holding her daughter in his arms. There we go. Unalasa atskili aseskino uskahit gesa. Oh, so unalasa or unalasa, she got mad, right? Unala means to be angry or mad. Unalasa or unalasa, she got mad. Atskili, the witch. So the witch got mad. Aseskino, but uskahit gesa, uskahit, she was afraid, right? Uskahit.
Uskahit.
Yeah, gesa, she was scared. Would you read this one for us?
Unala se atskile. Aseskino uskahit gesa.
Yeah. The witch was angry, but also she was scared. Yes. All right. Do you asamad hiin askai uweli se atskili? So, do you really asamad smart hiin askaya? This here man, uweli se atskili, thought the witch. Would you read this one for me?
Do you asamad he ana askaya uweli se atskil.
Okay. Now, can you talk a little bit about the difference between the word asamad and asinost?
Well, I think I've heard before that asamad is just
Smart.
smart from the English.
It's like a kind of like a what they call a cognate. Right?
And the other word,
Asinas.
asinos, I think is the Cherokee word for smart.
Yeah, Asinas. And I've also heard that Asinas almost kind of is like clever or, you know.
Just any of those words that
Yeah,
make
bright
a person smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Asinas. And then wise. What is the word for wise? Akanad?
They say that too.
For wise?
But it could be asamad.
Asamad.
Akamad, yeah. Just different
Yeah.
dialects too, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can see that now. Yeah. No, let's see how close we are. This man is very smart, thought the witch. Yeah, there we go. So just those of you that are learners, just be aware. Asamad is probably the more modern word, but sometimes you will hear the word asinost, and to mean the same thing.
Right.
So I know one time I heard that word and it threw me. I was like, I don't know what that means. You know, they're like, oh, it's like smart, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Got it.
Uwe chakehya, uwe kanele, ugoyu uwech.
Oh.
So, uwe chakehya, the daughter, uwe kanele, she gave her, ugoyu uwech to the prince. She gave it to the prince. So, yeah. Would you read that one for us?
Uweji ageha, uwe kanele, ugawayu uweji.
Okay. So, let's just take a couple minutes because we've got some time here. So, uwe kanele, to me that sounds like also related to the word uwe kan, to have something alive. Is that
Uweka,
am I thinking correctly or
That's to have something.
yeah?
And then
And then that nele is
gave her.
like to give.
Yeah,
it.
give it to this thing to give. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like almost to give this thing that she has, right?
Yeah.
I mean, kind of in a way. Is uwe kanele? She gave something alive.
Yep.
Uwe kanele.
Uwe kanele.
Yeah. So I believe, yes, I am correct, that this is where we're going to end the story.
Okay.
So, she,
But he did the three things.
he did the three things,
And she gave him the daughter.
and he didn't lose his head.
Right.
So, however, I will tell you, in the rest of the story, that's not the end. She gives the daughter to her because she promised. However, she was really mad about it. So she starts whispering in her daughter's ear. She said, well, because she didn't know he was a prince.
Yeah.
Remember, she just thinks he's
Yeah.
some dude. So she says, well, I don't know why you're letting this commoner boss you around like this. So made the daughter mad. So then the daughter had a task. She said, well, you've done all the tasks my mother set for you. Now you have to do something for me to prove that you love me.
Okay.
So he was like, okay, well, what do I have to do? And she said, well, I want you to get 300 bundles of sticks, and I want you to make a big pile. And so he goes and he does it, and she says, well, now, if you really love me, you will sit in that, or someone will sit in that pile of sticks while it's lit on fire until it burns out. So she thinks, well, he's not going to do that.
Yeah.
Or if he does, he's going to die.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay. So they put them, and then they took the man. Remember the man that when it was hot, he was cold, and when it was cold outside, he burned up?
Yes.
So they put him in the fire, and it burned for 3 days. And when it came out, he was like, I almost froze to death. It was so cold. And so then she had no choice but to marry the man. But still not all. So then the witch saw what happened. So she sends an army against him. to kill him when they take off, when they go towards the church to get married, to get the blessing of the priest. He sends an army across the water in boats across the ocean, and so the fat man swallows up the ocean and then spits it back out and drowns everyone, the entire army. So they get married, but he because of what the woman did, he said, well, I want to teach her a lesson. So the story just keeps going
on and on.
And so he on his way home to his castle, because he's a prince, he stops off and at a pig farm, and he pays these pig farmers to pretend to be his parents. And he says, I'm just a simple pig farmer, and this is where you're going to live for your whole life. And to help my parents take care of the pigs. So they go to sleep in an inn or a hotel or whatever you call it, and he pays the people that work there to steal all of her clothes. So steals all of her clothes, and so she has to put on rags, hand-me-down clothes, and he makes her work. Some people say she works for a week, some people say she works for a year as a pig farmer's helper to learn to be humble and to be grateful. And at the end, then he is gone one day, and she asks the neighbors, says, well, do you know my husband? And said, yeah, just follow this road and he'll be there. So she follows the road to the castle and finds out that he's really a prince. And so then they live happily ever after.
Okay, well, too bad we didn't translate all that.
I know, that would have been fun, right? And there would have been a lot of, but hopefully maybe if we get to have another Cherokee class we can finish the story.
Yeah.
So, because I really would like to have the story finished. So anyway, so that's the entire story.
Okay.
This German story called the Six Helpers. Would you go ahead and read for us these last?
Okay. Aseno aji adskili. Justui sekalohisti. Du go henigad anina ani woniska ale unalihe lijona gesa. Ugawiuej unugile age uej. Na unalese adskili. Aseskeno uska idgesa. Doju asamadi hiana askaya uwelise adskili. Uweji age uwakanele ugawiu uweji.
All right, excellent. All right, so we've got a little bit of time. We've actually got a little more time than we usually have. So we'll play our word game, and then we'll do a question game.
Okay.
And then we'll see
Okay.
we'll see how I do.
I do like the ending though anyway.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes
Right
an
there.
ending there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it works.
Okay, so you want me to ask you in Cherokee?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll try the English first.
Okay. Ani woniska.
They were talking.
Unalihe lijona.
Unalihe li chona. They were happy.
Aseno
Say no. But
galohisti.
Kalohisti is a doorway.
Adskili.
Atskili is the witch.
Justuisti.
Juice due east is she opened.
Du gohe.
Du go he. She saw them.
Anina.
Anina, they were sitting around.
Gesa.
Gesa was.
Yes. Ageha uweji.
Geha uweji, the daughter.
Ugawiyu uweji.
Ugawiyu uweji, That's the king's son or the prince.
Unugile.
Unugile. Unugile. Wait, hang on. Unugile. Wait. Don't tell me. If I find it in the story, then I'll know where the prince. Oh, he hugged. He was hugging her. He was he was hugging her.
Yes. Uskayeta.
Uskayet. She was scared.
Unalösa.
Unalösa, she was mad.
Aseskino.
Aseskino, but then.
Asamadi.
Asamadi, smart.
Atskili.
Atskili, the witch.
Uwe. What is that word? That last one, I can't think of.
Uwe kanele.
Uwe kanele.
Uwe kanele. She gave her.
Do you?
Really? Do you really? Yeah.
He anna.
He anna. This here.
That's it.
All right. Excellent. Okay. So let's do this. Let's make it a lot more fun. Okay. So now we'll try from all the story that we have on this lesson. All right. Now, how do we want to do it? I think maybe if you ask me questions about each page, maybe I can answer them. I'll see.
In Cherokee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jalak. Jalakut.
Okay. Halla utenola uwejage.
Okay. Hatla
Utenola
utanotle
uwejage.
uwejage. Where did she take her? Nyong Joy at school Iutli Lord, is that no? Wait,
The first line, uwejage.
Tinotla.
Kanasu.
Oh, where'd she take her? She Kanasula Ugawi Uwej took her to the prince's room.
Yep.
Yep, that's where we are in the story. Okay.
Halaya utenola.
Okay. So he did when so you asked Hilaya when
did they bring her?
Utinotla. When did he bring her? Yeah.
Yes. I have to read it to find the question.
I know, right? That makes it hard for both of us, doesn't it?
Because you can't, you have to read it to remember. Gog uwosla galohisti.
Oh, Gog uwotla galohisti, who sat by the door, and that would be Galjohe Ashkaya.
Do udanele inikat askaya.
Okay. Do udanele inika askaya. What did the tall man do? Do la west tane ijul ugawiu ejale agehya. Uwej agehya. So she asked, what did the tall man do? And I said he wrapped around both the prince and the girl,
Yep.
woman.
Kilosu yalla.
Um, um, oh,
Kilos yalla.
Tlacohoost.
Tlacohoost.
Kilo. She asked who could get in, and I said nothing or nobody.
Nobody. Okay. That's it on that one.
Okay.
Let me read it real quick. Kata ugali se ukata.
Kato ust ugali se ukata agehya, right? Nada sanoye. Ugali se.
Yes. Gog wagaga toast.
Who was he looking at? Or
yeah, that's what I asked you was.
Okay.
That would be the answer.
But if you ask Kadaus Wakaka toast, what was he looking at? Then it would be Uwejake. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure I understand the nuances of the question here. Okay.
Gog uli heli jonakehe.
Oh, who was happy? Ukawiyu uwich uli heli jona.
Da udanele na agay.
Tla you won't need say. Okay. What she said? What did the woman do? And I said she didn't talk, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Let's see if I can find another one. Du tossed hanes. Go with you wedge.
Oh, tla you do tossed hane. No.
No.
Yeah. She asked, did he blink? And I said no, he didn't blink. Awesome. Okay.
Halaya unilucha. Or uniyeja.
Oh, when uniyedza, when did they wake up? Sat du at Lisa.
Uniyed. Okay.
Uniyedza.
Yeah. Okay. I asked that kind of wrong, but that's the question that I was asking. So you was right. I kind of said it wrong, but let's see. Do duanele na adskil.
Okay. Do one le skin. Do one what did the witch what did the witch do? Oh, do don't the god, yeah.
Do wanele.
Stiosa Wunitla, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
She put him hard to sleep. Oh gosh, we're almost out of time.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
That was fast.
That did go fast. So remember, this is our last lesson. We hope you've enjoyed our Cherokee 2 class that we've had here at RSU.
Yes.
And we've definitely enjoyed sharing with you and working through all these lessons. I know I've learned a lot, and I've enjoyed having our speakers here, including Miss Kathy, Miss Peggy Gertie Flute, and Miss Melvina Shot Pouch for the entire class. It's really a blessing to have.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you, and it's such a blessing to have you. And we, as Cherokee people, are lucky to have as many speakers as we do. I know that our language is not is in danger, but I know we're also luckier than other tribes.
Right.
So from all of us here at RSU TV, I just want to say what don't.
I thought the dog go hunting.